Dr. Drew, the psychologist who testified for the defense, said that when Ethan Couch was 15, he was caught with a naked 14-year-old girl and was never punished. He was allowed to drink at a young age. He began driving at 13. Playing devil's advocate, if this child was never disciplined, never told of any limits, is it possible that he may not have known right from wrong?
Well, and he was intoxicated too, and so in that moment he may not have known it. But this is not an insanity defense they're going for. This is a justification for murderous behavior. And let's remind ourselves that what really we're talking about is two things this kid does have, I believe, judging from what I'm hearing, that is in the diagnostic manual, which is addiction of some sort, whether it's alcoholism or some other addictive process, and a personality disorder, which is an axis 2 personality disorder, which are very difficult to treat, particularly in an unmotivated patient. Now, we've got a kid who has had no consequences. Still, we're taking him to Newport Beach and giving him a cushy treatment. Maybe in prison under a 5-year program. Maybe then we could have gotten through to this kid. But to tell him, well, we'll just gloss this over for 6 months in Newport, it's not likely to work.
A lot of it depends on whether the treatment center has any knowledge of affluenza and how it affects kids. If they get with a therapist that understands the effects of money and how it pertains to the other addictions and how it weaves in and out of their lives, one of the personality traits of affluenza is often a loss of self-identity, because the children frequently are raised by surrogate caretakers or on their own, which is what I understand happened with this young man. So they have no self-reference. They have no self-identity.
Jesse, you
don't disagree with any of that, but again, that is a dynamic issue. That's not a diagnostic construct. Again, for every diagnosis, there is an appropriate treatment. Is it in the DSM-5? I'm sorry. Is it in the DSM-5?
People are dynamic.
Is it in the DSM-5 right now?
It doesn't all have to be in the DSM-3 or 4 or 5 or whatever we're up to now.
Jesse,
that's a very dangerous thing to say. So you're saying you can make your own diagnostic construct and therefore your own treatment plans based on that diagnostic construct.
I think one of the things that's missing in today's treatment programs is the knowledge of how our cultural affluenza, our addiction to money and the effects that it has on our children and our culture and our spirituality are ignored. And if there's one set of parents out there that hears this interview and turns around and says, no, I'm not going to give you that new toy. I'm not going to send you on that expensive trip. You're going to stay here and you're going to pay the consequences of your behavior, then this interview has been worth it. And whether that's in
again, no disagreement
of terms or not, I don't care.